What is going on, Diablo 2 fam? Lord Zhang Fei bringing you episode 3 of the Diablo 1 Hero Challenge, the Mother of Natalya. Obviously there is no assassin in Diablo 1. It was introduced with Diablo 2, but we went ahead and put all of our items on the Diablo 1 Rogue. Let's go ahead and compare the items between the two games. Alright, Barnar Star was a decent find at the start of Diablo 1. The item does become obsolete later in the game. For Diablo 2, I think it's a very overlooked item. Both games do keep the attack speed bonus, the huge durability, and the damage buff, but in Diablo 2 it does add some very nice elemental bonuses, which can really help out. Maybe a Conviction Zealer trying to kill some immune to physicals. It's not a bad item at all. The Veil of Steel is the only item that is basically a spitting image of itself in Diablo 1. Not much has changed between the games. Both games do 50% all resistance, 15 strength, 15 vitality, bonus to defense, and they do negatively impact your light radius. The only difference is in Diablo 1 it does take away minus 30. Armor of Gloom, there is a lot to talk about this item. It might be the rarest item in Diablo history. Released with the Hellfire expansion, this features the highest defense you can get on an armor, with the crazy penalty of making all of your resistances 0, regardless of any other items. It is a very interesting trade-off. I'm not sure it's going to work out in Hell, where there's a lot of elements, but for what it is a very strong armor. What makes it so rare is there is a bug that prevents it from dropping, unless the Demon Spike Coat unique full plate has already dropped in the same game. And if we take a trip down memory lane and remember that in Diablo 1, monsters do not respawn. So in order to find the Armor of Gloom, you have to be lucky enough to find the second rarest armor in the game. And then with the remaining minions left, hope that the Armor of Gloom drops. I have never seen one drop, of course. And I even had problems trying to import this into my game for this video here. So I did the best I could. The original artwork is actually kind of looks like a red hard leather armor. But enough about all that. The items, it couldn't be any more different. Gloom in Diablo 2 is, of course, in my opinion, very underlooked rune word that has some really cool stats, like 45 resist all, and a 15% chance to cast dim vision. A little bit of strength. It's really not a bad armor at all. I use it quite frequently on mercenaries to proc that dim vision. Next up is going to be Storm Shield. It is a super iconic item in the Diablo history. One of the few items that drops in all three games. What's interesting is in Diablo 1 it can either drop as a Gothic or Tower Shield, which is kind of cool, because it gives other classes that can't get high strength an opportunity to wear it as well. Ironically, there are two bases of Storm Shield in Diablo 2, because in version 1.08 it used to drop as an Aegis. I am not sure how many are still around. I'm sure there are a few on the non-ladder servers, but both items do add strength, add to the faster block rate, and are indestructible. In Diablo 2, a massive reduced damage stat was added, as well as some resistance. Super iconic item in Diablo. Next up is the Ruby Amulet. Like I said, 40 fire resistance. You just can't go wrong with this thing, especially when we are fight his Conviction Mephisto. The Garnet Ring of the Tiger, 25 fire resist, plus 27 hit points. It's not too bad. And then the Garnet Ring all by itself, plus 25% resist fire. I pretty much just used this because I couldn't find anything else that had any other stats with fire. But enough of these items. Let's go ahead and check this run out. Alright, go ahead and get this game opened up. And we are going to be using a Kick Assassin. I really rarely play Kick Assassin, so this was pretty fun for me. Without being able to use any claws, it just was pretty much going to be the only way. The other items we are using are an upped Gore Riders, Dracula's Grasp, and a Thunder God. Of course, get that Cloak of Shadows going. Go ahead and pull Mephisto out here. It's going to be pretty simple and straightforward. Just keep kicking, get that life tap proc. It's going to be a pretty quick run, actually. If you'll notice that dim vision, it's definitely helping me out. I really like using the gloom armor. But this just showcases how strong the kick assassin really is. What's kind of cool is that the kicks can deliver elemental damage. I do like that. It's not like Smite where it cannot. You'll see here we're having no problem at all, even with only 1,000 life. And we are using Burst of Speed and just stacking up mad resistances to combat that conviction. No problem at all. There's actually only Absorb that we have here is going to be on that Thunder God, so we are really heavily reliant on that life tap. But with as fast as she kicks, and with the Shadow Master kind of taking hits for me, it's just no problem. Especially when you cast that Cloak of Shadows and it lowers their defense. I think we have something crazy like 25,000 attack rating. I put a bunch of points into dexterity just to ensure that we are getting all of the hits that we have on them. Juice it up with a little bit of venom too. All that's going to play into effect here. So as you can tell, no problem. Luckily our Shadow Assassin is throwing out some Mind Blast, kind of doing her thing, taking some hits. Shadow Warrior is really fun to play around with. With only using kicks, I had quite a few extra skill points to dump into. Everything else bursts of speed, so I think that's kind of cool about kick assassins is they do not take a lot of skill points. You can really play around. I'd be interested to see if you could do some kind of trapper, kicker, hybrid. I'm not sure how well that would work because I know you need to dump a lot of points into traps to get them to do high damage, but with kicks you really only need 20 points, so go ahead and take him out. Like I said, this is going to be a fast run just to really showcase exactly how awesome the assassin is. As soon as I life tap procs, it's pretty much GG. Even with 1100 life, and that is tremendously low. Like I said, I put a lot of points into dexterity, so you can get these guys up to 3,000 life easily with battle orders. Then you know, instead of using these crappy magic rings that I'm using, you just supplement for a Raven Frost to get that higher attack rating. But without it, you know, we really had to dump a lot of points into dexterity. We are going to have to clean this up though, because these Venom Lords can kill you very fast if you are not continuously attacking them. But I love the dim vision. I like this whole setup. Using the Baranar star was pretty cool. That bonus to attack rating, 200%, really comes in handy. Relying so heavily on life tap, you really got to make sure you're hitting them every time, so that's kind of why we went a little crazy on the dexterity. But I mean, look at them how they are with Cloak of Shadows. They're not even attacking me. Got a couple Mind Blasts going on there too from our Shadow Warrior, which I think is cool. I think it might be kind of funny to try to see if you could get like 8 Shadow Warriors to defeat Ubers. I don't even know if that's possible, but that might be worth trying out one day. I think it would be kind of funny if you could get that to work. But let's go ahead and finish cleaning this up. Kill these last couple Venom Lords. Check this torch out. Of course, we put a burr in there. Cham in the Spired Helm, cannot be frozen. A little bit more damage reduced. There's the Gloom. Not too shabby at all. That's not a lot of crushing blow. And it still just took care of this, no problem. You imagine how well this will run with 80, 100% crushing blow. These things are total beasts. They are a little more pricey than a smiter, so I'm sure that's why a lot of people don't use them for Ubers, but they are very strong. Go ahead and check this torch out. So far on these videos we got 2 paladins in a row. Let's see if we can make it a sorceress. What are we gonna have? 1520 Amazon. That's really not terrible. I have a couple 2020s already though, so it's probably getting thrown away. But thanks for checking out the video, and y'all take it easy.